Hello. I've been growing potatoes in buckets and bags for 4 or 5 years now and learned quite a bit, and we've had some good potatoes out of them, and I thought I'd make a video to give you a few tips, tell you the sort of things that I've learned, and show you how it's done. And I'm going to explain a little bit about the way potatoes grow as well, because that'll help you understand why we do it the way we do it. This is so we can grow them in the garden. We've got a flower garden, really, not a vegetable patch, and growing them in buckets allows us to move them around the garden a bit and sort of put them where we can. So what I've got is an ordinary bucket. This is quite a small bucket really, and I've drilled a couple of holes in the bottom because when it rains a lot, especially when before the leaves have grown, you'll probably end up with a bucket of water otherwise. And as you can see, the bag, it's just this is an old manure bag, compost bag, that kind of thing, and I've put, I've made some holes in it as well. This is the same one I used last year. Every year I use the same bags and keep the soil. So that'll go in there, and we'll do that in a minute. But first I want to show you about the seed potatoes. These I've got from the garden centre, they're proper seed potatoes, and these are some first earlies, and that means that they will flower and come on earlier than your main crop. Probably what you get from the supermarket, that's probably going to be a main crop potato, and they'll come on a bit later. And I've got some in the house that are chitting from those, and this is sort of March time of year. If you take the potatoes later in the year, then they won't be chitting from the new crop of potatoes. So you need this is kind of like last year's potatoes really. And you see it's got the chit on that. Now, when these grow, the chits, you place it with the chit up like that, and these will grow up, and off of the side of them will come little rootlets, and then off of those the potatoes will grow. The potato doesn't grow, your new potatoes that will grow won't come from the under here somewhere, and then you'll get your leaves on the top of that. And if you can keep piling it up with a bit more earth, then you'll get a higher stack of these little rootlets coming off from the chits here, from the stalks. And that's why I use the bags, because it increases the height of the bucket. So by the time I've finished, I'll probably have soil up to here somewhere like that, which is higher than the bucket. You don't want to go too far because you won't get the water down. So that explains why we can grow them in buckets really, because you actually don't need much soil underneath the potatoes. Now in here I've mixed up some of last year's soil. I've put a bit of soil improver in it, and I'm going to put a bit of bloodfish and bone in there like that, just to give it a bit of put some more goodness back into it. And we're just going to put about an inch or 2 inches maybe. You don't want any more than 2 inches of soil in the bottom. And then what I do is I wrap the bag round like that at the start. Just makes it easier. So I've just got a bit of soil in there, about up to there, like that. You see? About up to there. Put the potato in with the chit upwards. If you've got a potato with 2 chits on, that's great. You know, put it sideways like that. If the chit's on the bottom, it might go, but you know. And then cover it up with, again, about a couple of inches of soil. And that, so we're up to about here now, up to about there. And then as the, now this soil is a bit damp. This soil is quite damp at the moment. I'm not going to put any more water on. Eventually you'll see some little green shoots come up, and they'll certainly need water then. And as they grow up, put some more soil round, same soil with a bit of feed in, and then eventually the bags can come up, and they can come up. Keeping them watered, especially when you've got all the leaves. You'll get a lot of leaves on the top, and they'll stop the rain getting in. And when you've got a lot of leaves, you've got a lot of power bringing the water out of the soil. And the potatoes need plenty of water, otherwise you'll have craggy potatoes and they won't be very big. And you leave them to grow and water them and stuff, and move the bag up until it's had some flowers on it. And like I say, these are first early, so they should. I'm hoping to get some flowers on, and in June, something like that. Maybe, you know, it's March at the moment, and then I will plant on. I'll plant about 5 of these up. I've got 5 in the garden at the moment, and so they keep in a rotation around. And as you go later in the year, I can start to use some of the main crop potatoes. I mean, you could plant the main crop potatoes now, but they're not. You could keep them in the garage or something for now, actually. Anyway, maybe I'll add on later on, and we see how they come, and I'll, you know, take the potatoes out, and you can see how they've done. But I hope that that's helped anyway. So good luck with your potatoes. Thank you.